Welcome to another episode of Inside Access Control, sponsored by SIA. Very excited today to have Tom Bowles with me. He runs the multifamily group at dormakaba. Tom, thank you very much for taking the time.
My pleasure, Lee. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Before we jump into some of the trends and that we see around it, why don't you give everyone just a brief background on who you are, what you do, because you've been in this industry for a while, so you bring a lot of expertise.
I was in multifamily before multifamily was cool, probably 20, 25 years. Back when I was with Allegiant, we share a shared mother there. Back when we were selling just basic mechanical and worked our way up through the initial e-bolt and then through. And then I spent some time on a middleware provider, a startup software company that provides middleware into the multifamily space. And then now I'm with dormakaba and really focused on how we can better our position globally as well as nationally and move our solution forward by incorporating several different platforms as I see this as a very dynamic growth and vertical market.
Absolutely. And so on that point, we've seen a lot around multifamily, the tech side, a lot of different user interfaces mixed with wireless locks. There's still a big mechanical business that I think people don't realize on that side. You've got class A, B, C, aftermarket, new construct, so there's a lot going on there, and it's been active. And I actually think it's going to continue to be that way. And I mean, you tell me otherwise, but as it happens though, there's this great desire for convenience. And our industry forever has struggled with the balance of convenience and safety, right? Because we're a security companies. We value the safety side, and actually we've been built on a whole idea that you inconvenience people by putting barriers up to keep bad people out. So
Sure.
With the introduction now of these features and this desire for convenience, what are your views on what we need to do with the safety side of that, and how you treat a utility that people want to become a feature?
Yeah, so I think you have a very good, accurate portrayal of that. To start off with what you first said in terms of mechanical, let's understand that there are more mechanical doors within a property than electronics. Now, the electronic doors are getting most of the attention as we speak, just simply because of the convenience and the pathway forward. And we see that electronic access control, when managed properly, provides a greater sense of convenience, as you said, both to management and user. It increases efficiencies, and then it allows you to do much more down the road as new processes and needs become available. So one of the things that dormakaba focuses on is providing access mechanically and electronically for every opening within your property. dormakaba is a leader in the auto operator segment, and when you present a credential, whether that credential is a mobile or a fob or other, to a door, that you don't have to touch anything, it opens up appropriately. So one of the things that I'd like to make people aware of out there is that if you're going to leverage a manufacturer into a property, make sure that they can provide you everything on that property that is aligned to a door. That's the first thing. And then in terms of security and convenience, what I've been seeing out there is that especially with the situation we're in today, folks are willing to give up a bit of security for convenience. And that has raised an eyebrow or two within the industry, within the security industry, in that we can see that there is a necessity for delivery. There is a necessity for Uber Eats and all those great delivery services that allow us to function as close to our daily schedules as we can. But we also have to understand that when you're letting folks into a building, that you're sacrificing convenience. So in how you manage that is becoming more and more concerning and more important as we move forward. Making certain that we have the right protocols in place specifically to vet who goes where and when, that's probably of most important. Making sure that the company that is providing you your access protocols are securing data end to end. And for example, not allowing anybody and everybody to share credentials. The last thing you want is the Uber Eats guy have the capability of somehow offering credential access to a building. Whether a management has approval or a resident has approval, how you set that up based upon the protocols that your individual company has instituted is of most importance.
As people are going out to select technology based off of feature, like for instance, they want mobile credentials or mobile capability for their tenants, and we typically bring a hammer to it, and we're like, "I have mobile. Here's mobile."
Yes.
And the idea, though, around that next sort of question around the policies that are around that, and some of the stuff that I think, if you're not in the industry for a while, you don't necessarily think of. So as you see that, are there any best practices or places that you can point people to get that level of expertise that can maybe keep them out of the gotcha bucket, if you would, by making a wrong selection?
Yeah. So, great point again. One of the things that we here at dormakaba are very, very focused on is end-to-end security through our a company under the dormakaba umbrella called Legic, who I know you're familiar with. We provide mobile phone access, end-to-end security, with all of what it seems to be a new solution popping up left and right. If you have a mobile phone, you're going to get a solution. It's a blink camera, or it's any number of devices that you can buy within, Best Buy, those types of things. Everybody's connected in some way, fashion. That concerns me. Again, that's that security protocol that we were talking about before. When you speak to somebody that's just provided a new solution, if they're just piggybacking on top of AWS or a platform that speaks to AWS for them, which happens often, there are several potential security risks and portals that can be leveraged, and you want to make sure that you're avoiding those at all costs. I will say that dormakaba is one of, if not the only, end-to-end mobile solution out there that protects your data.
Great. So with this, because it's pretty hot, and there's a lot of people that have opinions on where things are going to go or where they may end up, and that, I guess I'd like to get yours. Like, what do you see good looking like in the end? What is ultimately this multifamily tech panacea that we believe is going to, specifically to the access control side? I know, without getting into maybe some of the other areas, but like, what does good look like for our industry with this type of technology?
It's interesting and a difficult question to answer. Looking in your crystal ball, what is it going to be? It's along the lines of the only constant is change. What I can tell you is that there will not be one single solution for everyone. It's just this industry, this vertical, does not support that. It is too widely varied. You can sometimes look at people and say, hey, depending on what they want their buildings to run like is how they implement the solution. So what would the solution, what will be the largest player in that solution set? I would say today it is a cloud, or what we call a privatized cloud. You would have access to your building through a website, for example, is going to be the biggest and driving. After that, I think in the near future, you'll see more and more end users, owners, and developers that have a standardized solution, third party or not developed, white labeled, that will provide full community access and automation through the human amenity to their property. And what I mean by that is that you have to have dynamic credentialing that will allow for deliveries, that will allow for dog walkers, that will allow for folks like that. But that solution is one part of it. Access is but one part of the solution aggregator solution, in that from that, you're going to want to have the ability to do monitoring of energy and leak detection, et cetera, et cetera. What will it look like? I think that today, again, privatized cloud will start leading the way, if it hasn't already. and then it will move into these third parties. Modularity will be king. Pick what you want. Do you want HVAC plus access? Do you want access plus a touring, an on-site touring after hours? Pick what you want and add it to the solution. So, and I think that what we're going to see is more owners and developers specifying that for their portfolios.
Yeah, so it supports a couple phase changes that I've been talking about a lot. So great to hear that. It's number one, this idea of partnering and really the ecosystem delivering a solution is going to be important. And then the second one being that access control is part of is a feature, part of an overall bigger experience. So both of those are very, very exciting. If people want to find out more information or get a hold of you, what's the best place they do that?
Tom Bowles on LinkedIn. Catch up with me there. Certainly tom.bowles@dormakaba.com. I always answer my emails.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to share a bit of your experience and your story, as well as give some guidance and insight into where the marketplace is and where it's going. So thank you very much, Tom. It's always great to catch up with you, and look forward to seeing you again in person at some point when we're allowed to.